Welcome to LMU Community TV News. I'm Allison Barnett. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at the stories we have for you today. One person is dead following a two-vehicle wreck on Tuesday in Cumberland County. Officials with the Tennessee Highway Patrol confirmed that 27-year-old Brooke Jones died following a collision in the Dogwood Heights area. According to reports, Jones's car was struck when Myrtle Collett failed to yield while pulling onto US 25E. The two cars collided in the southbound lane. Collett was later transported for injuries. No information has been released on her condition. The case is still being investigated by Tennessee Highway Patrol. A Middlesboro woman was arrested at Pilot on Monday for allegedly trafficking methamphetamine. 34-year-old Leigh Philpot was charged with first-degree trafficking a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. Police say they spotted Philpot's vehicle at the gas station and knew she had a warrant out for her arrest. Officers found several plastic baggies and a digital scale inside the car. Philpot later gave officers a plastic baggie containing 30 grams of what believed to be methamphetamine. Philpot was also served 2 bench warrants for court during the arrest. She's being held at the Bell County Detention Center on a $25,000 cash bond. The annual Cumberland Mountain Fall Festival is set to kick off on Friday. The yearly event will be held in downtown Middlesboro with plenty of food and crafts available. The event will also feature a car show, a meet and greet with Tim Smith from TV show Moonshiners, and music on Friday and Saturday. Here to talk more about the event is Bell County Tourism Director John Grace.
I think this is the 41st year, if I'm not mistaken, for the Fall Festival, so it's, obviously it's one of the more prominent events we have here in Bell County and definitely in Middlesboro. It's one of the longest lasting ones, and it's always been centered kind of around 2 or 3 different things, mainly having crafts, live music, and food, but we do a lot more than that. Obviously, there's a carnival going on. We have we have rides that will stretch from city parking lot and kind of go down into Cumberland Avenue, and we've got the street blocked off for 2 or 3 blocks there. We have live music, which will start on Friday about 4 p.m. at 4 p.m. and will go all the way through Sunday. There's over a dozen acts, so we got a lot of live music going. There is a bicycle ride that's being put on by, I think, First Priority. It's called Rock the Crater, and they're leaving from East Cumberland Avenue Baptist Church. We have a car show. We have, this year we have Tim Smith from the TV show Moonshiners, who's going to be doing a meet and greet on Saturday at 5. Just all different kinds of stuff going on. Friday's music, we've got 3 acts. We've got 3 local acts, and then we've got 3 acts that are kind of nationally touring acts in Sonora May, who's also the wife of country star Tyler Childers, but she's fantastic in her own right musically. And then we've got a guy named John R. Miller after that, and then headlining on Friday night is a guy named Laidback Country Picker, who is incredibly talented. Saturday we have the Kiss tribute band, Dressed to Kill is the main headlining act, and then Sunday at 3:30 we have the gospel group, the Singing Cooks, will be playing. So we've got a lot of great live music going on too. Food vendors, like I said, craft vendors. We've got craft tents. We got carriage rides, inflatables, and a kids area, and this year they have a theme every year for the kids area, and this year it's Silly Safari, which I guess they bring different animals to kind of show the kids and stuff like that. So like I just said, there's a lot going on.
The general election is right around the corner, with much emphasis being placed on the Tennessee Senate race. Voters will head to the polls on November 6th in what will be a pivotal election, with Democrat Phil Bredesen and Republican Marsha Blackburn battling for the Tennessee Senate seat. The deadline for voter registration in Tennessee is October 9th. Those wanting to vote can pick up a voter registration application in person at the County Election Commission office or the County Clerk's office. For more information about registering, visit claibornevotes.com. Now let's take a look at your community calendar of events coming up over the next couple of weeks. The Rail Splitter Homecoming 5K Night Run will be held on October 11th. It is $20 for general registration, student registration is $10, and faculty and staff registration is $15. You can register for the 5K at alumni.lmunet.edu/homecoming2018. And that was your community calendar. We're now moving on to your LMU Community TV News 5-day weather forecast. To start your Thursday off, it will be mostly cloudy and the temperature will be 65 degrees with a 10% chance of rain. As the day progresses, the temperature will rise to 81. Looking at your 3-day planner, Friday will have a 30% chance of isolated thunderstorms with a high of 84 degrees. Saturday will be mostly sunny with a high of 85 and a 20% chance of rain. Moving to your 5 days, Sunday and Monday will be mostly sunny with highs in the mid-80s. Now is a preview of your 5-day forecast, but stay with us, as coming up after the break, Brandon Burke will be bringing you your sports report right here on LMU Community TV News.
What do we know about learning? It takes place beyond the pages of a book. We learn by exploring, by trying new things, by connecting, by sharing. We learn by taking chances and dreaming big. At Lincoln Memorial University, learning is beyond the books. It's everywhere.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shields, and I'm a physician and the medical director at LMU Medical Clinics. This is a brief announcement about keeping LMU and you healthy during the upcoming flu season. Influenza, or flu for short, is a virus that causes fever, body aches, and upper respiratory symptoms like cough, runny nose, and sore throat. It is transmitted through the air and can even be spread on objects touched by someone who has the flu. The virus spreads easily from person to person and is most active from October through March. There are 3 things you can do to prevent becoming ill with the flu. First, get vaccinated. The most effective way of preventing the flu is to get the flu vaccine every year. The vaccine does not give you the flu or make you sick. The vaccine may not be 100% effective, however, it does offer significant protection and lessen the symptoms should you get the flu. The CDC recommends everyone 6 months and older be vaccinated before the flu season begins. Number 2, wash your hands. Stop the spread of germs and protect yourself with frequent hand washing with soap or alcohol-based hand sanitizer. And third, if you are sick, stay home. Should you become ill with flu-like symptoms of fever, sore throat, cough, limit your contact with others. Schedule an appointment as soon as possible with LMU Medical Clinic or your healthcare provider. There are antivirals that may be indicated if started within 48 hours of symptoms. Stay home until you are fever-free for 24 hours without over-the-counter medications like Motrin or Tylenol. I'm Dr. Shields, and this has been a brief announcement about keeping LMU and you healthy during the upcoming flu season.
Welcome back. The collegiate bowling world is starting to take notice of the Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitters, as the third event of the 2018 fall season last weekend resulted in another top 3 finish for LMU, competing at the highly touted Boilermaker Classic in West Lafayette, Indiana. The Purdue University hosted tournament saw Lincoln Memorial collect a grand total of 7,852 pins over a 2-day span, including a 3,304 pin tally across 4 Baker matches on Sunday. After placing third in the season-opening Racers Classic in Lima, Ohio, the Rail Splitters entered the fray in West Lafayette, still sizzling from the program's first-ever championship placement in the LMU-hosted Baker weekend at Hillcrest Lanes, only 33 pins behind eventual runner-up St. Ambrose on Sunday. Robert Morris claimed the top prize in the Boilermaker Classic, although Lincoln Memorial stayed in the mix throughout the weekend, recording the second highest team output in a single game on Saturday of 1,045, accumulating the second highest Baker performance the next morning of 844 in match number 2 of 4. LMU Director of Bowling Joseph Slowinski is now starting to see the development of the program in its third campaign, as freshman Jorge Rodriguez out of Puerto Rico was good enough to land an all-tournament spot, notching a third-best 209.60 average over the 5 games on Saturday. Sophomore Hunter Kempton was impressive as well over the weekend, taking 9th place individually on a 204.40 average, while junior Brandon St. Onge grabbed 13th place with a 201.20 average. Representing the top 3 in all 3 of the season's events thus far, Lincoln Memorial will be back in action for the 4th consecutive weekend this Friday and Saturday, seeing their first Tier 1 competition at the Midwest Collegiate, held in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. LMU will be searching for a more consistent showing than that of their last visit to the Badger State in 2017, where they then finished in 18th. And for the first and only time in the fall semester, both Lincoln Memorial golf teams were competing alongside one another in the same venue at the same time on Monday and Tuesday, competing in Sunset Beach, North Carolina for the Myrtle Beach Intercollegiate. In what was just the second event of the season for the Lady Rail Splitters, the Blue and Gray followed up on a nice third-place performance at Mars Hill the previous week to land a tie for 4th once the Myrtle Beach tournament had concluded, making an 18-shot improvement on Tuesday to land in the top 1/3 of the event. Whereas Newberry took home the first-place trophy, followed by fellow South Atlantic Conference school Lenore Rhine in second, LMU's 46 over par total of 622 trailed third-place Converse by a mere 7 strokes, aided tremendously by senior Lisa Malherbe. After a 4 over par 76 on Monday, the Mount Juliet, Tennessee native and reigning all-SAC performer landed a 1 under 71 in day 2, soaring all the way to 2nd place individually. Sophomore Emma Morrison made a big leap on Tuesday as well, gaining a 2 over 74 after an 81 the previous day, earning a share of 16th place. Harper Cherry and Caitlin Sneed, who were just 3 strokes away from each other at Mars Hill as part of LMU's 7 golfers landing top 20 spots there, they tied for 24th at Myrtle Beach, a 6 over par 76 for Cherry and a 7 over 74 for Sneed. While it was a better than average day for the Lady Rail Splitters, the nationally ranked men's squad blew away the rest of the competition once more, claiming the top prize in their field thanks to a pair of golfers in the top 2. Taking 2nd at the Coker Fall Classic and then holding a tie for 7th at the heavily competitive Cougar Invitational, the Rail Splitters nearly let a big lead slip away on Tuesday, ultimately holding on with a 5 over par 568 total, 2 strokes better than Lenore Rhine, whom LMU once led by 11 strokes. Despite a 289 performance in day 2, which was 10 shots worse than a season-best 279 on Monday, Lincoln Memorial played well enough to take the championship crown off the performance of Dan Bradbury and Sam Broadhurst. In the first 2 tournaments of 2018, Broadhurst seized the number 1 spot individually, something that the senior All-American had previously yet to accomplish. In Sunset Beach, he, quote, settled for 2nd place on a 3 under par 68 in round 2, and that's because reigning South Atlantic Conference Freshman of the Year Dan Bradbury, he claimed the top prize, the 2nd of his career, posting back-to-back 68s to finish 3 shots better than his upperclassman teammate. In addition to Bradbury and Broadhurst's dominance at Myrtle Beach, Andrew Briggs and Luke Harries helped LMU's cause with a 15th and 23rd place showing respectively. Harry Boyle in the mix as well in 38th. Both Rail Splitter golf programs will take next week off before returning to action on October 15th and 16th, with the ladies heading to Dahlonega, Georgia for the Leanne Noble Memorial and the men's side traveling to Palm Harbor, Florida for the Copperhead Championship. For more information on LMU's astounding performances at Sunset Beach over the past 48 hours, you can head over to www.lmurailsplitters.com. The Lincoln Memorial women's and men's soccer clubs will stay on the road this Wednesday night, aiming to get back on the right track in conference play by visiting Mars Hill. The women's match kicking off at 5 p.m. before the men's match gets underway at 7:30. In a neutral meeting with the Anderson Trojans last Saturday in both teams' last appearance, AU stole both contests, defeating the Lady Rail Splitters 2-1 in overtime, while the men's side for the Trojans overcame a 2-0 deficit with 5 minutes left in regulation to force a 2-2 tie after 110 minutes of play. As the Lady Rail Splitters enter Wednesday night's Mars Hill matchup at 5-3 overall with a 1-2 sack resume, the Lions will be hoping to get out of an early season funk, coming up on the losing end of their last 7 games overall at 1-7, 0-3 in conference competition. Lincoln Memorial holds a one-sided 14-4 lead in the all-time series against Mars Hill, including a 7-2 record when playing on the road, bouncing back in 2017 from 2 straight 1-0 losses to the Lions for a thrilling 3-2 overtime triumph a year ago. While the MHU men's squad has been up and down in 2018 at 5-3 and 2-2 in sack affairs, the Lions are riding the momentum of a 6-2 pounding over Catawba last weekend, and in the 3rd straight match away from Harrogate, the Rail Splitters will look to improve upon 11-13-1 disadvantage in what is the all-time series with the Lions, which dates back to 1992. The Rail Splitters dropped a 1-0 decision to Mars Hill in the 2017 regular season, but won the more important contest later on in the sack tournament that fall, knocking down the Lions 3-1. Currently at 3-2-2 and 1-1-1 inside of conference action, Lincoln Memorial faces Mars Hill in a league doubleheader, and you can catch the final scores from North Carolina once more on LMURailsplitters.com. Another Friday night is nearing, and with that comes another slate of high school football games in the tri-state area, preparing for Week 8 meetings across the region. As teams that have already clinched a postseason spot look to stay aggressive, and teams that haven't been as fortunate look to turn things around, let's take a look at who's playing who under the lights this weekend. Starting with the state of Tennessee, back in the Gap after dropping a lopsided one to Wartburg the previous Friday, the Cumberland Gap Panthers will try to redeem themselves when 1-5 Jellicoe comes to town in the Old Town Grill High School Game of the Week. Complete coverage of all the area's matchups will begin at 6 p.m. on 91.3 FM WLMU, as live analysis of the Cumberland Gap and Jellicoe contest takes place approximately 30 minutes before the start of the game at 7 o'clock. The Cougars of Campbell County make their long-awaited return to Jacksboro over the weekend, taking on Carnes in their first home battle in almost a month, searching for their 3rd win of the year. The Granger Grizzlies will look for their 3rd win in a row on Friday when they welcome Chucky Doak to Rutledge, while the Indians of Hancock County host Thomas Walker out of Ewing in another Tennessee-Kentucky crossover. HC hoping for win number 4, and TW sizing up a possible 5-2 record. The Union County Patriots, who were stopped just shy of capturing their 4th straight W last week against Sullivan South, face a tall task in the form of unbeaten Elizabethton on the road, and the Claiborne Bulldogs will take the week off for their bye, currently at 1-6. Moving on to the Bluegrass State, the Bobcats of Bell County face off against 1-win Clay County at home, aiming to stay perfect and move on to 7-0. And the Pineville Mountain Lions travel to another undefeated team in the form of Lynn Camp, looking to shake the cobwebs off of back-to-back losses. While Bell County is at home and Pineville is on the road, the Middlesboro Yellow Jackets enter their bye week in an identical situation to that of Claiborne, with 1 win next to 6 losses. And lastly, in the Commonwealth State, while the Pioneers of Thomas Walker look to keep it rolling against Hancock County, the well-rested Lee Generals gear up for a trip to arch-rival Union, currently at 2-3, with the Bears at 5-1. LMU Community TV Sports will have full updates on all these matchups once they come to a close next Monday, so be sure to stay in touch with all the latest on the gridiron. And that is all for sports in the middle of the week, but stay tuned as more LMU Community TV news is coming up right after this.
So we were walking to school. I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart.
want cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying,
Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. Yeah, Dad. We're getting so wet.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
One in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Thanks for watching LMU Community TV News. I'm Allison Barnett, and have a great evening.